Hello guys, this is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report with Alpari. I'm sorry, but we had some problems with the software, but now it should be alright, and we can proceed with our daily analytical report. We have a strong movement on euro dollar, and probably you're wondering what happened. This movement is caused by Mr. Navarro, who is one of the top trade advisors to Mr. Trump, and he said that European Union and Germany in particular are benefiting from the weak currency, from the undervalued currency, euro, against American dollar. So recently, Trump's administration started war with China, started trade war with Mexico, and now they are trying to start war with European Union. That is why euro is now going up. Let me show you the calendar. On the calendar, as you can see, also euro is benefiting from much the better CPI data from Eurozone. As you can see, CPI was expected to be 1.6 and they beat that data, it was 1.8. Also, GDP was better than expected. As you can see, well, the target for inflation in Eurozone is slightly below 2%. So as you can see, it's almost there. So now we're having questions about the QE program, about all the stimulus performed by European Central Bank, if it's gonna end soon. We have a kind of a tapering, and what will Mario Draghi and ECB do with that? As we can see, the stimulus is finally working. It wasn't working for a long time, but finally we have a pickup in inflation. Inflation is going up, and now it's time for next moves. Yesterday overnight we had data from Japan about we had an interest rate decision, which remained the same, but comments from Bank of Japan were a bit hawkish. They increased the predictions for GDP, and which caused Japanese yen to be a little bit stronger yesterday. Now they are giving that gains back. But they are still, yen is still stronger than it was 2 days before. So we had a movement on euro dollar, which is still there. Obviously, upswing on euro dollar causes dollar to be weaker in all major crosses. We do have better data from Eurozone, CPI and GDP. Let's take a look what's going to happen this week, because this week will be quite busy in terms of the data. Tomorrow, ISM, PMIs from United States, also non-monetary policy ECB meeting, PMIs as well from China. On Thursday will be important day for Bank of England, also interest rate decision. And on Friday, first Friday of the month, so non-farm payrolls. We shouldn't be surprised with that, as it's always happening on the first Friday of the month. Let me show you the charts right now. As you can see, this is the upswing. It's about probably 70 pips by now, 65 pips. And actually, this upswing again caused by words from Mr. Navarro, a top trade advisor to Donald Trump, who said that the euro is undervalued, and Germany, so the biggest exporter in Eurozone, the biggest country in Eurozone, is benefiting from that, which is hurting American companies. That is why on euro dollar we do have a strong upswing. This resistance was relevant, is relevant, but now will be important as a support. Also, we broke the line connecting recent lower highs. So this upswing from now seems like a new buy signal. It looks decent. It looks sustainable. Apart from those lines which I draw here, we do have a horizontal resistance. The real test of this information will be there, right? Because for now it was a movement triggered by kind of a speculation, by a verbal intervention on the market. But real test of the sentiment will be here. The price will break those highs. We will be able to spot here a nice buying opportunity. So far, probably they will try to test this support first before going any higher. Euro to Canadian dollar. As you can see, we have an upswing on euro as well here on this instrument. Euro to Canadian dollar is still locked in a side trend after a nice sell signal here that we are talking about yesterday. Not yesterday, but last week. The price declined sharply, 3 bearish days in a row. Then they found a local support. Here they tested it twice, and now they are retracing this movement. So I think the potential of this shooting star is over at the moment. Now it's a side trend. I don't like side trends. I don't trade on side trends. So I leave it. I leave this situation to the other guys. Gold is obviously benefiting from weaker American dollar. With gold, there is a very interesting situation. I don't know if you follow our Twitter account, or read our analysis on our website. Always after the daily analytical report or our trading sample videos, I'm advising you to visit our Twitter account or our website alpari.news, where we post our articles from FX Street Investing, FX Empire, and other portals. And somewhere here, when gold was trading at $1,200, we were asking the question, where is the potential target for this upswing? And we highlighted exactly this line. Why? Because there is a correction equality movement labeled with this blue rectangle, so along with 38.2 Fibonacci level. Well, actually, we thought that this resistance will be broken, but anyway, it was a resistance, right? So we spotted this resistance. There was a take profit action. When the price went lower, we were wondering where is the bottom here for this downswing, and we posted on our Twitter account that it should be here. Why here? Because it's a 23.6 Fibonacci level along with 38.2 of the upswing, right? 23.6 from the downswing and 38.2 from the upswing. And actually price stopped exactly here, and then the price went significantly higher. And now the most probable scenario is the price aiming $1,220 per ounce again. So we should see the price here again testing this resistance. If they will be able to break this resistance, I think that will start a new upswing on gold. Gold is a safe haven asset. It gains. We can see gains on gold in times of uncertainty. With the latest development in the Trump administration, there is more uncertainty on the market. They are doing some good things, right? They are trying to deregulate economy, which is always good for the economy to limit those regulations. So that's why, for example, for some time stocks were going higher, but now we're having much more uncertainties, which is driving the gold prices higher. If we are on gold, I should have a silver somewhere here. Yes, let me show you silver, because on silver we just got buy signal here. Why buy signal? Look at that. We are in an uptrend with green lines. I highlighted a correction, bearish correction. Well, it was a very deep correction, so you can actually call it a new midterm downswing. Channel down formation, and we do have an inverted head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. On H4 it will be better, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The neckline here is a horizontal resistance on $17.20 per ounce, and we are trying to break it for the last few days. In the last 2 weeks ago, last week, this week, and finally we got a breakout. So this is a legitimate buy signal, right? From the technical point of view, we have a buy signal just now on silver. Potential aim is not spectacular because the first resistance is very close, which is this green line. But when this green line will be broken, we should expect a large movement, because breaking this upper green line should trigger a strong upswing, strong long-term upswing. So it's this breakout of a neckline here is like an invitation for a larger party, buying party here on this instrument. Very buyers can be very optimistic, but for now they need to keep this buy signal alive. So first, what they have to do before aiming for this line, they need to protect this support here, protect 17.20, 23, 24 as the closest support right now. If they will allow the price to come back below, that will be a false breakout, and false breakout can be lethal, and the price should decline sharply if they will allow the price to come back below this resistance. So far it looks good, it looks promising, this upswing looks sustainable. Australian dollar to American dollar here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the same corrections in a row. When I say the same, and I mean depth, so there are around 70-80 pips. Last one bounced from a horizontal support here on 0.7510. It was very technical movement. Actually, on our live trading account, we do have a long position here on Australian dollar to American dollar, and now we are aiming for the closest resistance, which is the line connecting recent lower highs. Those blue lines, what's that? That's pennant. Pennant is a trend continuation pattern. Trend is a positive trend. We have an uptrend here, so breaking the upper line of the pennant should trigger a new bullish wave. So that's maybe we are not hoping for that, because there is no place for a hope when trading, but the probability of such movement is very high right now, especially with the latest development on the market. So with this latest upswing, with this latest bullish breakout. Next instrument is Kiwi, is New Zealand dollar to American dollar. When they keep that channel up formation alive. What's that resistance? Let me show you on a daily chart. Maybe on a weekly chart will be better. So we're aiming this long-term horizontal resistance. It's long-term, it's on a weekly chart. This resistance is from 2010. Breaking this resistance should trigger a long-term upswing, aiming for new highs. Right, but for now, I think that New Zealand dollar to American dollar is largely overbought, and I wouldn't buy right now as I would on Australian dollar to American dollar, because I would be afraid of local corrections. But that's one of the principles of the technical analysis, that trends last longer than you think. So maybe we'll see higher highs and higher lows all the time, because that's what the sentiment here is, and it's definitely positive, it's definitely bullish. In my opinion, there are some better instruments to buy, but this one is definitely bullish. American dollar to Swiss franc here. I will show you why it's worth to follow us. Because I was telling you about this short occasion here in the last week. Why? We have a downtrend. This downtrend was paused for some time by 4 bullish corrections. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. And we were analyzing this instrument on Friday, and exactly here, and I draw this line. I told you that this is a flag in a downtrend, and which is above very important support, and we should test this support. So I draw this line that this is our scenario, and that's what actually happened. The price fell 30 pips, which is maybe not much if you consider forex market as general, but 30 pips for this instrument is right. 30 pips, as you can see, daily change is about 55 for the last few days, so 30 pips is more than a half of a daily change. All right, we bounce, so our scenario happened, the price touched this support. After that, we had a bounce. Why we had a bounce? Look at that, because this is a very important support. It was, actually, I'm sorry, it was. It was a resistance in May, July, October. So that was not a surprise that we had a bounce here. But the price went to the upper line of the flag and declined. We finally had a breakout. Breakout happened yesterday. That's the principle of price action trading. So broken support becomes resistance. Okay, here, downswing, flag, or more a pennant. But we tested this line as the closest resistance. Test was positive and the price declined. Obviously fueled, driven by words from Mr. Navarro, but still sometimes for technical movements we need a fundamental trigger, and that's what's happening. So we have a nice downswing here, and actually if we look in the long-term situation, this triggers long-term sell signal, which should aim not next week, but maybe this year, sometime this year, next few months. This movement should aim this support. Price should aim this support, because today, just today, we got a confirmation of a sell signal, which was triggered yesterday with this breakout. Euro to Australian dollar defended this horizontal support again, which may start a buy signal here. But for now it's too early to say that. British pound to Canadian dollar, we thought that we'll have a bullish breakout here, but it's not happening unfortunately. But the buy signal here is still alive, the buy signal created by this bullish engulfing. As you can see, we didn't probably even retrace 38.2 of this upswing. Let me check that. We are just retracing 38.2 right now. So the buy signal is still alive. I told you that it's a long-term signal, so you shouldn't be worried with the short-term movements. American dollar to Japanese yen. So American dollar is weaker, but also Japanese yen is stronger because of the hawkish Bank of Japan. As you can see, decline here, decline now, and this horizontal support will be under pressure soon. We'll have a third test. If we'll have a breakout, we should see a decline for more than 250 pips to the next 50% retracement of this upswing. Actually, we could spot a flag here with this green lines, and this one, I will change colors. Not much of a change, okay. This can be considered as a false bullish breakout, and after false breakouts, you know what's happening. After false breakouts, we do have retracements. So on American dollar to Japanese yen, main signal right now is bearish. Euro to Swiss franc. We had an interesting situation on Euro to Swiss franc because for the past few days Swiss franc is much stronger. We had nice gains, as I showed you here, on American dollar to Swiss franc, but it's also reflected on Euro to Swiss franc, right? So as you can see, we had a nice support from November 2016, horizontal support. We attacked that a few days ago. It was defended, but it created only a flag, a very beautiful flag here. Okay, and after that we had a breakout yesterday. And now what the price is doing, the price is testing the recent support as a closest resistance. You heard that today before already. This creates an opportunity to open new short positions with the better prices. The test of this resistance so far looks positive. As you can see, we have two long heads, which creates a chance for a further downswing. I think it's a bit too sharp, so I would love to see another attempt, like for example decline here, another attempt somewhere here in the next few days, and then downswing. That would be really nice. But Euro to Swiss franc, as you can see, likes to move in a sideways trends. So maybe we'll see the price around here for the next few days without any sharp downswings. Euro to British pound, they had a chance for this head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, but they are not using it right now, and the price is advancing higher. So instead of breaking this support, maybe we'll have a breakout of this trend line. We can use this spike, or maybe we can use those, I think that line like that. So anyway, the resistance to beat, okay, let's do it like that. Resistance to beat is here. If the price will be here, the long-term buy signal will emerge on the charts. Next instrument I have for you is Euro to Mexican peso. It was doing really good. We had a nice support here A support was created by correction quality movements, by horizontal line here from those tops, as you can see here, here, and by a trend line. But obviously the recent development from Mr. Navarro caused the American dollar to be weaker, and it looks like a breakout of this support, and the price will probably stop first at 38.2 Fibonacci level. Euro to Norwegian krone, where also we had a breakout situation. Here was kind of similar to this one seen on Euro to Swiss franc, where we broke from the pennant here, from the side trend, and now most probably the price will test the recent support as a new resistance, right? So we're here, kind of here, 8.92, right? It's a wide area. If sellers want to think about long-term short position, they should defend this level as a resistance. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. It shows you that Japanese yen is a bit stronger recently. What we're having here is a wedge below the horizontal support, resistance, long-term wedge in this place is giving us potential buy signals here. But obviously we are in the middle of a trend continuation pattern, so buy signal would be a bit too early right now. And American dollar to Canadian dollar. For the past few days, this situation complicated a little bit, right? Because we had a nice breakout from this flag, but then the price went up, which put that downswing in as a false breakout. But this retracement was false as well, and now the price is going down, and we stopped above a horizontal support, maybe on H4 chart here, very strong support, and this support will be under pressure. If we will see price here, that will be an ultimate sell signal, ultimate long-term sell signal, which should give in the long term, so in a few months, 500 pips, something for long-term traders. Obviously, the situation can change quickly. Why? We do have an FOMC, we do have non-farm payrolls, right? FOMC, I think when I was showing you the calendar, I didn't mention FOMC, right? Yes, FOMC, but I mentioned that on Friday, and obviously you know that we will have FOMC on Friday, and everything can change, but experts do not expect much of a change from FOMC, but everything can happen. So far, we got some nice trading opportunities on the market, so you should not be worried if you're stuck on Euro to Canadian dollar, for example, because you have other instruments with nice trading signals, like, for example, silver or Australian dollar to American dollar and American dollar to Swiss franc. Right, thanks guys for watching daily analytical reports. Sorry for those troubles at the very beginning, it was a software failure. I hope that the webinar after the reboot was alright. Now we'll have a short break, and after that a webinar for beginners, for traders who just start their experience with the market. We will talk about basics of forex trading, basics of forex market. Thanks very much for watching daily analytical report. Remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. And again, follow us on Twitter and our website alpari.news, because we post our good trading ideas there and our view on the market, which, as you can see from this daily analytical report, it works. Thanks very much and goodbye.